This chart compares first-year employee retention rates. And right here, you can see a staggering anomaly. Nearly half of all transitioning military veterans, 46%, quit their first civilian job within 12 months. If a physical parachute failed 46% of the time, the resulting investigation would not blame the paratrooper for how they pulled the cord. The military would immediately investigate the engineering of the parachute. To understand the failure, we have to look at how the military builds a warfighter. Yet, when that same service member prepares to leave after years of service, the institutional mechanism to reverse that deep psychological conditioning is a mandated 3-day Transition Assistance Program seminar. Removing the military's institutional cocoon throws the veteran into a liminal space. They step out of a highly structured environment into a massive, ambiguous void. By giving transitioning members only 72 hours of classroom instruction, the institution places the entire burden of untangling a decade of military conditioning squarely on the individual's shoulders. The military treats leaving the service as a logistical exercise rather than a psychological reconstruction. This creates a severe identity vacuum, and that vacuum is the true root cause of the staggering first-year turnover rate. The legacy TAP system operates on an outdated industrial-era model. It manages military transition by reducing it to a static compliance checklist. The paperwork exists to ensure the bureaucracy can legally check a box. It distributes exit benefits, not builds corporate adaptability. This creates a narrative skewed heavily toward maximizing VA disability ratings and healthcare entitlements, distracting veterans from maximizing their future corporate earning potential. A system built purely to process forms and distribute entitlements cannot teach a warfighter the tribal norms or the economic realities of the modern corporate sector. When the transition curriculum focuses on standardized resume templates and checking the box for compliance, it sends a clear, unspoken message. To be employable, you must smooth over the rough edges of your military identity. Veterans are subtly encouraged to scrub their unique traits to fit a generic civilian mold. As this diagram shows, when those generic resumes hit modern, AI-driven corporate screening software, they are instantly blocked. Only the resumes that translate military experience into specific, measurable return on investment are allowed to pass through to human hiring managers. The system also leaves the professional ego untreated. A retiring senior enlisted leader might assume their rank entitles them to a civilian management role, without realizing the private sector demands proof of value in its own language. When veterans quickly leave these early civilian jobs, the market mislabels it as normal job hopping. In reality, it is a desperate scramble to escape a toxic cultural mismatch they were never trained to evaluate. Relying on an industrial-era bureaucracy to prepare warfighters for an agile, AI-driven corporate battlespace guarantees a high rate of failure. To solve this, Dr. Tony Astro developed the concept of a civilian boot camp. As this timeline illustrates, true intervention requires pulling preparation away from a reactive 6-month window and starting the architecture 18 to 24 months before separation. This extended runway gives the service member the necessary time to dismantle the institutional conditioning that once defined their entire world. To fix the identity gap and reconstruct the professional ego, veterans apply the proprietary CARE HQI framework, focusing on elements like culture, agency, and resilience. Instead of hiding their military past, they learn to leverage the outsider advantage. They weaponize their non-belonging and hybrid intelligence to disrupt stagnant corporate environments. Success is measured by how effectively a veteran translates their specific military lethality into civilian corporate revenue. By abandoning the illusion of the bureaucratic checklist and committing to a systematic reconstruction of their identity, veterans are equipped to dominate their second careers.